This is Tom Fox, and welcome to the Daily Compliance News. Today, I want to begin by telling you about an exciting new podcast I'm beginning this week. It is AI Today in 5, where I curate 5 stories about AI and how it works in compliance and general business application that you can use in your business or in your compliance world on a daily basis. AI Today in 5 has premiered on the Compliance Podcast Network. I'm running it for the month of August. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to continue doing it. So please check it out, subscribe, rate, and review wherever great podcasts are listened to. AI Today in 5. The Daily Compliance News for August 13, 2025, the Bad App Store Rating Edition. And we begin with that story and from the Financial Times, which reports that Elon Musk has accused Apple of breaking antitrust rules and has threatened to sue Apple over how his X social media and Grok artificial intelligence tool are ranked in iPhone's maker's influential app store. The tech billionaire saying Apple had made it impossible for any AI company besides Sam Altman-led OpenAI to reach the top ranking. And this was an antitrust violation. So if you lose, you don't snooze. You just claim they broke the law. Brilliant. Next up from the New York Times, Kim Keon-hee, wife of Yoon Suk Yeol, South Korea's impeached and ousted president, was arrested Tuesday on charges of bribery, stock manipulation, and political influence peddling. She is the first former First Lady to be put behind bars in the country's history. Mr. Yoon, who is driven from office after his failed attempt to place South Korea under martial law in December, is already in jail and standing trial on insurrection charges. 4 other presidents of South Korea have been imprisoned before, but this is the first time that a husband and wife duo, how about that, the lovebird duo, have been put in jail. Next up, from Just Security. What are the human costs of systemic corruption? Well, in 2023, Turkey was hit by a devastating earthquake, claiming some 50,000 lives. More than 300,000 buildings collapsed, crushing entire families. For months, millions were homeless with little access. But this was not just a natural disaster. It reflected on the corrupting influence of the construction sector had in Turkey over its supposed regulators. In the weeks after the earthquake, Turkish officials arrested nearly 200 contractors over safety violations. This is the cost of systemic, real-world corruption. And our final story comes to us from the Brennan Center of Justice, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, which asks, what is political corruption and what can we do about it? Well, in a very interesting and indeed provocative article, Rising Political Corruption highlights the need for structural reforms to strengthen federal institutions and rein in conduct that harms American citizens. Obviously, the Supreme Court is part of the problem, not part of the solution, and its erosion of norms, public officials' increasing brazenness has created this moment. But the public and Congress can create or take immediate steps to curtail political corruption and in the long term make America better. Of course, we have the abuse of public office for private gain, as clearly shown by the current administration, but the political corruption harms ordinary American citizens. If you look at what happened in Russia with their invasion of Ukraine, it's not hard to imagine what will happen here. On July 4th, we had perhaps the worst tragedy to ever hit my home county in its history over this weekend, and myself and my family are fine, but multiple others who lost loved ones, lost family members, are obviously not fine. So if you can find your way to help with any donation, I would greatly appreciate it. This is Tom Fox. Thank you. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.